Now, I've had patients all the time who tell me, why is this happening to me? Why? And my general response is, we only have so much time. We can spend this next hour talking about why this is happening to you, or we can spend it talking about what you need to do to get better. Now, if we do the first one, you'll understand why, but you won't be any better.
That's
So,
right.
is it more important for you to get better or to understand why? And they'll think about that and they say, well, it's more important that I get better. I said, okay, so let's not worry about why. I don't know why you have an addiction and your brother does not. I don't know why. I don't know why you're doing all the things that sound like the right things and still you relapse. I don't know why. But here's the things that we can do to make things better.
Well said. That piece of art behind you, is that something you made?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of these things. When I was I had a faculty practice, and when I was at the university, and I was interested in painting, so I started painting the emotional experience of my patients, and I had over 100 canvases of showing their emotional experience, and then I wrote a paper about it and published it in a journal, medical journal, by going back and looking historically at people with mental illness making artworks. Um,
Interesting.
it's called outsider art, and that's the name for that kind of thing. And so when I left the medical school, I gave all those pictures away to the people whom I had painted them for, except that there were a few that I kept, and that's one of them. I got a few around here in the room, but that was a very important part of my experience, of my healing and my understanding of people's mental illness, was to put it in a visual format.
Yeah, and the second time I met you, I noticed that your fingernails were like really dirty. They were just like caked with what looked like dirt. It turned out it was clay. You were sculpting it, and I remember, I was thinking, looking at you, like, okay, this guy's a doctor. I know he's a professor. Like, doesn't he wash his hands? Like, what's going on?
Right now, I'm working on a sculpture, which I don't know, you might find interesting. It's a sculpture of the life of St. Francis of Assisi. Usually, St. Francis is shown as a older man with a dove and such. Uh, but I'm doing the opposite. My sculpture shows him as a young man just back from war, making a decision about, is he going to devote his life to the spirit, or is he going to devote his life to just having a good time? And he made the decision that giving himself to others and to God was what he wanted to do. He gave away all of his possessions. His father was really upset with him, and he devoted his life to helping people who are sick. At the time, in the 13th century, those people had plague. He ministered to them when nobody else would. He ministered to the lepers. He took care of people that were sick, and he developed a huge following, but he always tried to do what was right. Even when the powers be, the government at the time was opposed to him. And so that is a model for all of us, to do what's right and to take care of people who are less fortunate.
I do believe you are a healer. Julie's a healer. Like everybody that works in this field, like we all plant seeds.